global update on the investigation into the death of a young and budding musician in Nigeria, Mohbad. So it has happened that in the past few days, some developments, including the arrest of Naira Marley, Samilari, the co-alleged to Naira Marley, and as well the declaration of Prime Boy Wanted, who has now turned himself in. So I have joining me live from Lagos, the National Youth Secretary, the National Secretary of the Youth Right Campaign, Francis Nwapa Watch. Together, we shall be assessing or doing an evaluation of this attempt so far, an update on the steps made so far, and progress recorded in the investigation by the police so far. So you're welcome. Good morning, Comrade Francis Nwapa Watch. Say hello to everybody. Everybody
Good
watching
morning.
from all over the world joining. Yeah.
All right. Good morning to you and good morning to everyone listening and watching.
Okay, let us start with an assessment of a video that came out of the arraignment of Sam Larry and Naira Marley. A lot of people have seen this video already. We just want to have a look. That is it. If you can see it, let me put at the middle. Yes, so that was at the magistrate court. And I want to ask Comrade Francis Nwapa his assessment so far of the update. So you can see Naira Marley just stepped out, and that is Samilari too. I think that will replay now. You can see again. Naira Marley was at the front, came out first, and then Sam Larry is said to be the person. The two of them wore masks, anyways. Sam Larry is the person said to be pointing at for whatever reason. I guess he saw or spotted somebody. So that is what we have seen so far. And then we also learned that Prime Boy was declared wanted, but he claimed he wasn't invited and could not have been declared wanted. Instead, he turned himself in for the investigation. So what's your remarks so far on this progress? And what are other expectations in the course of the investigation?
Yeah. All right. Let me say hello to our viewers once again. And I'm Francis Nwapa, the National Secretary of Youth Right Campaign YRC. And in the build-up to this, event, this tragic death of Mohbad, our organization made a press statement. The issue surrounding this whole thing, and we made it clear in our statement that the Nigerian police cannot be trusted to deliver justice on this matter, and the reasons are not far-fetched. Number one, the Nigerian police is an indicted, considering the fact that Mohbad wrote a petition, on the 27th of June of this year. Directing that petition to the office of the AIG, FCID, which is in Panti, and nothing was done. And also, this clearly shows that the police, that is an indicted party, cannot be the one carrying out investigation and deliver justice on this matter. And so while we made this clear, we also have been following events, and this video clearly shows that the Nigeria police, lack that consistency to be civil on every matter. If this is the way Nigeria police arraign people in court, then people would not, most of us would not have issue. But why this selective, method of arraigning people? We have seen people who have been alleged to have perpetrated lesser crime or lesser offenses being paraded, handcuffed, by the Nigerian police. And let alone people who were alleged to have, committed assaults, and not just assault, bullying, and prime suspects to a murder case. Such people have been escorted, by the Nigerian police as celebrities, and all that. And so this has clearly shown that, the Nigerian police has, a selective way of arraigning people, depending on how popular and how wealthy you are, in Nigeria. And also the declaration of the declaring of prime boy wanted. It's a shortfall. It's another diversion. We see it as another diversion by the police, because the young man came out yesterday and said, I was never invited. I was never. If the police, how can police declare somebody who was not invited wanted, and those who were prime suspects were never declared wanted? They strolled into the country. Nobody, they strolled into the country and submitted themselves, whichever way. Nobody knows how the comfort and all that is being given to them. Yes, they are still a suspect. Yes, they have not been found wanted. But what we're saying is that there shouldn't be a selective way of handling suspects on a particular matter. If we truly say someone is a suspect, every suspect should be treated, including those who have committed armed robbery and kidnapping, should be treated the same way, and not having a selective way of treating suspects. And so the declaring of prime boy wanted has truly also exposed the Nigerian police again, that the Nigerian police is not ready to deliver justice on this matter. You declare the person who was never invited by the Nigerian police wanted, and the person showed up the next day, and the person was taken into custody. On what basis is prime boy declared wanted? Yes, they are carrying out their investigation, but on what basis? We have seen videos on social media of what's his name, Larry, bullying, beating, of Mohbad. Such person was not declared wanted. Somebody who there are video evidences of how he was beating and bullying, Mohbad. Such person was not declared wanted. He was not handcuffed, to the courts. And prime boy, who we have not seen any video, who has given whatever reason they have. But I feel that Nigerian police would have done the right thing by not lying to the public that they invited this young man, because there's no way you will invite him and he will come out and say he was not invited. And maybe Nigerian police will also help us by providing evidences of the letters that were written, the text messages or calls that were made to him, and he refused to honor. Maybe by then, some of us will clear our doubt. But without that, I think Nigerian police is trying to divert our attention from the main issue.
Thank you so much. But I want to ask, since you said they are not handling the suspects in this criminal matter the way they ought to have handled them, I want to ask, therefore, what were your expectations? I mean, they are already in court. They have showed up, and they are being arraigned. The court already remanded them. In what manner would you expect that they be handled? Because I understand that so many times the Nigerian public have always criticized the police for parading criminal suspects. We have said it's against the law. It has also been criticized that they handcuff persons who turn themselves in. So I think this looks to me more like an improvement, and we should be accolading them other than still raising that issue. I mean, would you expect them to handcuff Naira Marley and Sam Larry at this point?
Well, the truth is, I made it clear when I was making my submission that it will be good if the Nigerian police treats all suspects equally. If this is the way they handle all suspects, then it will be good. We of course, definitely we have condemned parading suspects, without being convicted I mean, in a court of law. And if Nigerian police continue to treat all suspects this way, well, it will be good. But what we are saying is the selective way of treating suspects. We saw Seun Kuti. We saw how Seun Kuti was treated. A person who came to submit himself in the police, just like Naira Marley and Sam Larry did. He came to submit himself and accompanied by his lawyer. He was paraded. He was handcuffed. He was paraded. Pictures taken. And the next thing, Benjamin Hundeyin was the first person who posted those pictures. But this is not done this way. This was not done this way. Seun Kuti's case was not a murder case. Seun Kuti's case was not bullying. Seun Kuti was, but look at the way he was treated. We have seen several cases like that, even including innocent people who have been arrested by police, are being paraded and alleged to have committed certain crimes, are being paraded. And so what we are saying is there shouldn't be a selective way of handling suspects, under the police custody. And so the police, if this is the way police want to be handling suspects, then we say they should continue this way, rather than having a selective way of handling a particular suspect and another way for handling another suspect.
Your point is very clear now. So, overall interest is to see justice done in this case of investigation into the cause of death of Mohbad. And there have been so many tangents added to this by different people from different quarters. Some have even alleged that, the wife, people are even calling for DNA tests. People are calling for different things at this time. Different people are calling for different investigations into. In fact, they called for investigation even into the friends, even into the people who buried, including the father, saying that he buried him too early. I mean, if you will profile, ideas into how this can be better handled, what are other things that you feel should be added to this investigation so far seen happening, or that you have not seen the ball rolling yet?
Well, I would say that certain elements or certain persons, journalists, celebrities in certain quarters are mischievous in some of their claims, some of their demands for some of these things. And these things are diversionary. And I must say to Nigerian youth, we must not allow this diversion to stay, because the main issue is, could the death of Mohbad has been prevented? Could it have been prevented? I think that is the main place we should be going before coming to the main issue, is death. Could it have been prevented? I think that's where to start from. A petition was written on the 27th of June to the AIG in Panti, who refused to follow up with that petition, to address that petition. Are we calling for the prosecution of that AIG? Has that AIG been removed from office? Has he been fired? No. And so there is no way we can do. Let's not divert attention. We are talking about the death of a Nigerian. What is the worth of the life of a Nigerian? Let's even leave aside that it's Mohbad. It could be any other person. What is the worth of the life of a Nigerian? A petition was written to the office of an AIG, and the AIG refused to address it since on the 27th of June, and Mohbad died in September. The so-called people who mentioned their name in that petition were never invited. They were never investigated. So all this the police is doing is just...
I read somewhere, I don't know how true. I read somewhere that they were invited, they came to give their own sides of the story, but that Mohbad himself never came back to follow up on the petition. I don't know how true, but I read it somewhere.
That that
So
that is that we if such is the story, it shows your professionalism of the Nigerian police. It shows that the Nigerian police is a criminal gang for the elites. If a person came to make a petition of threat to his life, and such petition was handled with levity, he claimed Mohbad. You and I know what it looks like to go to Nigerian police, even the one behind your backyard. You can't go to Nigerian police without dropping money from you. They call the other person, they collect money from that person. Then the higher the money they collect from either of the party, depending on the tune where they will dance to. And they will tell you, come back today, come back tomorrow, come back today, come back tomorrow. Who is ready to subject himself to such? We don't know this. We are all
I have heard about this allegation several times, but I don't know if you also have personal experience like that.
I have more than you know us as activists. We've had several experiences, several times to deal with the police. We have been arrested severally. We have been locked up severally, detained severally by the Nigerian police, and we know all of this. So I'm not shying away. I'm saying this live. That is what the Nigerian police is known for. And so, how many persons will want to subject himself to such?
Okay, so far
now that AIG. The question is, what has the Nigerian police done about that AIG? What have they done about the AIG who refused to investigation?
You are raising it now, and I'm sure they are listening to it. So, but there's something you said from the beginning that made it look like people should not really expect much from this. A lot of people are really banking on this investigation to give an outcome that will really help to unravel the cause of death and to also bring the perpetrators or the culprits to book. But what you have said so far may be discouraging. You have made it sound as if the police is not capable of conducting an effective investigation. And you are also making it look as if the police itself should be investigated in this matter. And I want to ask you to discriminate or differentiate. You have been particular about the AID who received the petition, but was said to have not done anything about it at the time Mohbad wrote the petition. At least you have been particular about that. But then generalizing it that the force in its entirety will not be able to conduct professional investigation is what I really wanted to clarify. Would the singular act by the AIG who was petitioned when Mohbad wrote that petition, would it be right to then generalize that the entire police force is therefore a suspect too and cannot, or a party too, and can therefore not be the one to conduct the investigation? So who then should conduct the investigation?
All right, thank you. I would refer you to the tweets of Benjamin Hundeyin when immediately Mohbad was killed, or maybe when he died, and the petition Mohbad wrote surfaced on the internet. The first person that came in defense of the Nigerian police was Benjamin Hundeyin. He said that the petition was written to an AIG who is a superior office to the office of the Commissioner of Police. What responsible institution shield itself from the blame of the failure to discharge its responsibility? What responsible institution does that? You are an organization. If your staff does something that is wrong, do you go to absolve yourself and say, no, it's not my fault? You take the blame and investigate that staff. Benjamin Hundeyin came out. What is the position of Benjamin Hundeyin? A public relation officer. That means you are speaking for that institution. So the police try to absolve itself from the blame. That is number one. Number two, I am not the one, I'm not discouraging people. What I'm saying is we have a list of similar cases that the police up to today is yet to give us, to name who killed those people. So it is not me. A whole Attorney General of the Federation of Nigeria was killed. Up to today, we don't know who killed that person. Where is the case? Alfred Lilwan. How many of these cases should we mention? Omomewa was killed in Lasu. Where is the police up to with the case? Several cases. We have seen even cases of policemen who killed citizens, and those policemen are still serving in the Nigerian police force. And so it's very clear that such institutions lack the capacity to deliver justice on a case where such an institution is an indicted party, because a petition was written to an AIG, and that AIG failed. And we must continue to emphasize on this. Perhaps if the AIG had done the right thing, we wouldn't be talking about the death of Mohbad today. And so we must not fail to say that. We can't be reactive. We must always ensure that we tackle the root cause of it. If that petition was addressed, if that petition was taken serious, Mohbad will still be alive, and we will not be talking about the death of Mohbad. And so we must always refer to it, that the AIG, the Nigerian police, failed in that regard to have prevented the death of Mohbad. And that is what we are facing today, what we are faced with today. Then, the Nigerian police, in a bid to remove itself from the blame, from absorbing the blames, please go back to the terms of reference of the team that was set up by the Nigerian police to investigate this matter. Look at the terms of reference. How will those terms of reference review? One, the bullying of Mohbad by his record label, the owner of the record label. That terms of reference, it was not set, did not include to carry out the investigation of the bullying. That's one. The extortion by his record label. Because we must call out all these things. That terms of reference, do you know what that terms of reference we end up? That terms of reference we end up bringing out scapegoats. Number one, the first person in the lineup of the scapegoat is the nurse that injected Mohbad. Number two, they want to turn now, is prime boy. They will turn the whole thing and leave the prime suspects out of it. We know the Nigerian police. It's not speculation. It has been like that for over years. We know how they dribbled and brought, what's his name? The name of the guy they claim killed Bola Ige. They brought him, and at the end of the day, the whole thing is gone. So when I'm speaking based on my knowledge of the antecedents of the Nigerian police. The Nigerian police cannot be trusted to carry out this investigation. And so what you ask, what I'm calling for, we are calling for an independent coroner inquest made up of revolutionary activists, socialists, trade unionists, the Nigerian Bar Association, members of the Nigerian Bar Association, representative of Nigerian Medical Association, and other youth organizations. Such a coroner will be empowered to summon anybody, no matter how highly placed the person is. Such a coroner will be empowered to call on anybody, whoever, no matter the position of that person, to come and answer before that coroner. And the findings of that coroner will be binding, and the recommendations will be implemented, by the authorities. It is only through this that we can unravel the circumstances surrounding the death of Mohbad. Without this, the Nigeria police, who is an indicted party, cannot be trusted to deliver justice. And with the recent thing they've done, by declaring prime boys wanted when they didn't invite him, has also shown that the Nigeria police cannot be trusted to deliver justice on this matter.
So talking about trying to identify the cause of death as quote here, cause of death. Yes, you raised other vital issues that may also be by extension investigated. The terms of contracts with the Malian records and all of those things. But in this case now, people are first interested in the immediate cause of death. What led to the cause, which is why they have gone for an autopsy, for instance. uh, you know, other issues that you have raised may then come up secondary, but primarily people just want to know what led to how did he die, immediate cause, and then they can then come to other remote issues like things that have happened in the past that may also have contributed or to the build up or whatever. But then I want to ask that uh, would you come out again in the event that the police comes up with something that because if police comes up with something that the public uh, does not approve or accept, you would, of course, that means you are not disappointed because, as you have said, you know them, and that is what you expected. So, what if the police disappoints you this time? Would you come out to say, "Oh, police, for the first time, at least let us give an accolade"? Would you do that? I'm just curious.
Definitely, our interest is to see that justice is served. And let me correct an impression that when you are investigating the immediate cause of the death, that we will not look into the crisis, the issue, and the attacks, from his record label. No, those are the primary areas.
No, no, no.
Let's,
That is
for
not
example,
exactly. That's not exactly what I meant. I meant that yes, those ones should also be checked by extension because those happened in the past. But people are first interested in that immediate cause, how he died at that spot, how he died, and then
yeah,
we can then look
yes,
at other. Yes.
yes, the immediate cause of death. But truth is, if someone has been bullying me, beating me wherever he sees me, threatening me, and I decided as a result of that bullying, decided on my own to end my life because I can no longer take it. Now, which autopsy will reveal that? Will autopsy reveal that? No. But somebody made me to end my life. And that's why we're saying, without a proper investigation and independent inquest into the circumstances, because whether Sam Larry or Naira Marley were directly involved in his killing or not, there were build-ups of bullying, assault, beating, extortion. Because if a young man who is making so much money as a result of his, intellectual property, and the money is being cornered by somebody, and the person can no longer take the pain and the shame of being known as a superstar, but have nothing to show for it, and decided to end his own life. I'm just I'm just using that as an example. Won't the record label be called to question as to why you allowed this? Why would you see someone's entitlements and all that? And so that's what I'm saying, that the investigation need to cover all of it, whether Mohbad died a natural cause, or he died, by poisoning or by killing, or by killing or whatever. All of that will be reviewed if we have an independent, and also whether his life could have been saved as a result of the petition he wrote, whether Mohbad's life was put as a threat when he visited the NDLEA. Don't forget that also. it is only an independent inquest can bring out all of this and throw more light to it. But when you want a party that was indicted, an indicted party, don't also forget that the so-called Naira Marley is what do you call it, an ambassador for the NDLEA. I mean, it shows how reduced our institutions are. It shows how reduced our institutions are. That a person known for fraudster, a person known for drugs, is an ambassador of an institution that is supposed to be campaigning against drugs.
Let me put a caveat there. I read that NDLEA already gave a caveat dismissing that rumor. They have dismissed it as rumor, that it was never an ambassador. That the picture people saw was not an endorsement picture. It was just like a visit picture and just normal picture. So there's no press release or anything saying that Naira Marley is officially an ambassador for NDLEA.
Okay, the question is,
I saw that refutal. Yes.
The question is the investigation into the alleged drug peddling or usage of Naira Marley. Where is that investigation by the NDLEA? Where is the investigation till today? We need to ask that question. Where is the investigation? You said
the NDLEA will have to answer that.
So the investigation of internet fraud by the EFCC, where is the investigation up to date? We need to ask, because it's very clear that our institutions have collapsed. It is meant for the highest bidder. You can be a criminal, and as long as you have the money to buy your way out, you are good to go, and you will be given a honorary degree for being a criminal. And that is how our institutions have collapsed, because the Nigerian political class, that system that promotes impunity, that system of capitalism that promotes inequality, where certain individuals are seen as untouchable, and the vast majority of the masses are the people who can be rubbished, paraded, and handcuffed for being a suspect. That system, until that system is dealt with, then the issue wrong with our institutions will continue to thrive.
Okay, I should let you go now. We have been able to see into the angles that people are really interested in. So far, this is like a watch, and we'll continue to explore more. We'll continue to bring up the updates and discuss these updates as they make progress into this investigation so far. So back to your door, Nigeria Police Force. People are really concerned about whether the institution is capable of conducting a truly fair investigation. And my guest today, Francis Nwapa, is also calling for an independent inquest into the cause of death of Mohbad, saying specifically that the police force as an institution itself is a indicted party in this matter, and is not fit to conduct such investigation. It's just like a party to a case, being the one to preside over the case. Of course, he's not expecting any merit out of it. So, Francis Nwapa, any last or parting statement for now? Pending, we'll come back again to continue to discuss other updates or progress into this investigation.
All right. I would say that the police has made a statement that they will give us by 3 p.m. today, Friday, and we hope to hear from them. The public also have our own opinion, and so we will match our opinion with their own investigation. And if it does not correlate, it means that we are likely to call for another resumption of protests on the streets across Nigeria and internationally. And also, we must not also fail to say that all of this is a failure of the system. If the Nigerian system has provided a situation where young people can easily have access to education, young people can have access to employment, nobody is going to extort them. Where young people can have access to justice, nobody is going to bully them. And so we are calling on the Nigerian youth not to be distracted on this matter, on this particular matter, because this matter is going to lead to the next. Thank God we are marking the anniversary of the NSAS. This matter can lead to a snowballing, can snowball to another resurrection of the NSAS in Nigeria. And so we are watching the Nigerian police and we are telling them to do what is right.
And I can trust the Nigeria police force. They are listening and they will definitely make corrections where necessary. Thank you, everybody who joined us from all walks, all parts of the world watching, and those who are sharing, those who are also contributing, making points, taking notes, and also observing and watching updates on this particular investigation. Thank you, everybody. We'll come back again when there is updates to continue to discuss the progress achieved so far in this investigation. Thank you for your time. Comrade Francis Nwapa Watch. Bye
Thank
for
you
now
so
and have the
much.
top of the day.